Okay, welcome, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the Advanced Higher Course Overview for Computing Science. As you can see, the course breaks down into the following areas. So you have 50% for the exam, and you've got 50% for the project. This is different to how it's been done in previous years, with equal weighting to each section. And it's completely different to how you've experienced National 5 Computing Science or higher or advanced higher in previous. So how's this going to work in terms of the exam theory? The course theory outline. So the course contains four distinct areas of study, which are software design and development, database design development, web design development, and computer systems. These area studies have overlapping themes and will be taught in conjunction with each other. So we will pick and choose different parts of these four sections, and we'll learn them at different stages to go throughout. Software design development, or SDD, you'll develop knowledge, understanding, and advanced practical problem-solving skills. You'll develop object-oriented programming, or OOP, as it's sometimes known, and computational thinking skills by analysing, design, implementing, testing, and evaluating practical solutions, and explain how these modular programs work. So you're going to break down these object-oriented programs further and explain how they work. Okay, so some software design development highlights. So this is some of the things that you'll be learning over the course of the year. So you have Unified Modeling Language, or UML, using case diagrams. So we're going to look in depth into what a case diagram is. We have wireframes. We've obviously done wireframes for design work in web design and other things. So we're going to see how these look for a software point of view. We're going to look further at some data types. So we have parallel 1D arrays, records, array of records, 2D arrays, and array of objects. We're going to look at some concepts for object-oriented, as we discussed in the last slide. We're going to be taking a big look at object-oriented programming. We're going to see what database programming is, so connecting and disconnecting from the database. So this is connecting a database to a program and how you can use SQL query in formatting the result. So how you can get data from a program into a database and vice versa. And we're going to look at some standard algorithms. So a bubble search, search and sort, and a bubble sort. So these are the three that we're going to focus on. Database design development. So you will develop knowledge, understanding, and advanced practical problem solving in database design development. A range of practical tasks using SQL to create and query relationship databases. What kind of content are we going to see? Well, the highlights are ERD, so entity relationship diagrams with three or more entities indicating entity name. Type, is it strong or weak? The attributes, relationship, participation, is it mandatory or optional? What the name of the relationship is, and any cardinality. We're going to look at entity occurrence diagrams. We're going to look at surrogate keys, data dictionaries for SQL use, and we're going to look at queries. So a lot of this you have done previous in higher, but we're going to take it even further in advanced higher, especially around surrogate keys and entity occurrence diagram. So web design development now. So you'll develop knowledge, understanding, and advanced practical problem-solving skills in web design. You'll use a range of development tools, including HTML, CSS, and PHP to create practical solutions to web-based problems. So the new skills you're going to be developing here are PHP and using a web server. So what are the highlights? So we're going to be looking further at wireframes, again for the web point of view. We're going to be doing some server-side processing, CSS with touching on media queries. So what are the types? So you've got print and screen, media feature, max width, so how to shrink it down and make a website responsive. HTML, so we're going to learn how to do the forms, action method. So this is more in time with PHP. Input, select, text area, and table. So we're going to see what these attributes are. PHP, so we're going to create some forms. We're going to be connecting to a database. We're going to be using SQL queries for that database. And we're going to look at local and global variables and sessions. So PHP is really useful for getting that data to and from a database. So computer systems is probably going to be the first thing we're going to start with, at least parts of it. And this area of study is in combination with the other three. So you need to learn some key things here before you can progress further. So we develop your understanding of how data is stored using hexadecimal form and how flags are used during the fetch execute cycle. So you already know the fetch execute cycle, but we go further and find out what flags are. You also become aware of the environmental impact of data centers and how the security risk of code injections into SQL are. And that's it.